let us welcome you back to
Continue.
Wait, did you have to put the lettuce on this paper towel? It's so not cute. Like you could have just dropped a piece of lettuce.
I know, but it's got to soak. Okay, wait. Left, right.
Center, middle, front, back, north.
Here we are. Wow, it's really cold.
Let me check the temp. Oh, can't see shit.
So last week, we made a bet to each other.
Oh no! That's what we have to do with this? I thought we were just like, this was like the flowers for today's episode. I thought like this was just like for decoration.
Are you joking?
No, I did not anticipate.
You just thought we were going to have heads on the table?
Yes, I thought this like, there's obviously no flowers today. I was like, wow, this is such a good idea. Like Alina brings lettuce. It's our flowers for the day. No.
Yeah, we got to bite into the top.
Can I?
No, hold on. You said last week.
What did I say?
Yeah, exactly. You said, I bet. I said, do you ever think about biting into the head of a lettuce? And you said, no, I don't think you could. And I said, I think you could easily bite into the top. And then I think it was even you that said, okay, next week.
Let's
do it.
So. That doesn't sound like something I'd say. That doesn't sound like
one of us did.
Yeah.
And here we are. We have the heads of lettuce.
This sucks.
And we have to bite into the top.
Okay. Well, let me organize my
No,
lettuce.
you cannot move it. No,
I didn't.
take that off the top.
I don't want that.
You have to.
That's an ugly piece of lettuce. Can I just have the one underneath?
Well, then I have to have the one underneath.
Okay, fine. We'll both have the one underneath.
But I washed these too.
Okay, perfect. Just like, let's put this in the front like flowers. I wish it was a different type of lettuce.
What do you want? Cabbage?
I would want more of like not cabbage. Cabbage would be too hard. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, cheers.
Are you going to do it?
What do you mean? I'm the one that said you could.
No, I just have this feeling that you're going to put it to your lips and then I'm going to be fucking biting in and you're going to be like,
No, I've been thinking about how I want to just.
Oh, really? You've been thinking about it?
Yeah, I just want to bite into it.
Oh, wait, you bite it in the top.
The top.
This
like
part.
Well, like whatever.
No, that's the side. I want north.
Well,
here you go.
Kind of a
I don't
holy
care.
spot.
That's where you're going.
But where are you going?
Right in the north too. North Tower.
But what is north?
Up.
Well, not
We've
right
established
here.
that.
This looks like a good.
No, that's northwest.
I want right here.
Fine.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers. This is disgusting. Do I have to eat it? Are you kidding me? This is the worst.
Look at that beautiful bite.
Mine's pretty too.
I could keep eating this.
It's just so stupid. No, not that bad. After the initial bite,
It's kind of
just tastes like lettuce, you guys. Dressing would have been nice.
Oh, you want some?
No, because I'm just going to get slobber puss all over my mouth. Whoopsies. Are you going again? There's no protein in this, you know.
Oh no, what a shame.
So well, if you're going to do 2 bites, I'm not going to look like a little bitch over here. No, don't do 3 because then I'm going to have to be stuck doing 3. Don't do it. Don't do it.
My mouth is leading me one way.
Don't do it. Don't.
It's leading me
Don't.
there.
Put it down. Put it down. Put it down. Damn it, Alina. Fine. Oh my god, are you insane? You think I'm gonna put mayonnaise on my lettuce? I don't touch mayonnaise.
That's not maple syrup.
Did you know that was maple syrup?
Yeah, but I can't find any dressing.
Do you dress your salads in
I
this
have
house?
a container of cottage cheese that's been blended with ranch.
I am so much more disturbed by that than I am about the fact that I'm gnawing on lettuce. Why don't you just let ranch be ranch? Why do you have to add cottage cheese? Just eat your cottage cheese separately, like a regular person.
I can't.
Don't. I'm done with this game. You put that.
Well, you got.
Okay.
I get your hands off of my.
You guys, it's done.
That was my dome.
I know. Now Alina can't eat it anymore. I can't believe I didn't think of that earlier. How's my face? Like, is it still
I think
really
we should
cute?
leave it. Put it right here on its little bed.
Okay.
Bites out.
Bites out. Okay, I'm gonna do this.
How does it look?
Wow. I truly did not put two and two together. I did not know I had to complete a task. I feel like that was fear factor, and I was forced to eat cockroaches, and I passed the test with flying colors.
Oh my gosh, you did. I loved Fear Factor.
Who did it? Who didn't?
But that was fun. I actually feel fresh like a lettuce now. You know? I feel fresh.
I feel wet.
That's why I feel fresh.
Like my hands.
My face is moist. My nose is moist.
You know what I heard the other day? That most of our hydration comes from foods that have water in them. Like that's how you get hydrated, not by water. And so I have no idea if this is fact or fiction, but it's something that I'm starting to live by. Do you know? Can you tell me?
Like
watermelon, like cucumber, like celery.
There's probably a lot of water in there.
I know there's a shit ton. Like
But
that's
not
how you're
more than
no, of course not more than water.
bottle.
But I'm just saying what I've heard from outside sources
Yeah.
is that your body absorbs water and food better than water plain.
How long has that water been in the cucumber?
Centuries.
2 weeks, maybe.
No, it takes longer than 2 weeks to grow a cucumber. As a person with a garden in her backyard. Months.
You don't have any cucumber back there.
I have 4 cucumber plants.
Really?
Yeah.
English or Persian?
English. No bumps on them. Just flat surface.
Smooth.
You know how I feel about acne.
Yeah.
Your body typically gets about 20% of the water it needs from the foods you eat throughout the day.
20%.
20%. Okay, you really oversold
20%
that.
is the other percent, 80%. So 80% you need just plain water.
Who's giving you your facts?
You know what? I don't know. That's the thing. Like I hear information, but I can't really credit the source because I'm not really sure where that information.
Who's crediting sources? Like this isn't. We're not writing essays anymore.
I know, and you know how hard it was to not credit Wikipedia in college because like that's where I got all my information. Obviously, it's incorrect, but like I was kind of the opinion like it's on Wikipedia. It's got to be right.
Yeah,
that was beginning age of the internet. Though. Yeah, you know, I didn't really know Wikipedia was incorrect.
I know.
I hated citing sources. There's nothing I could get through any essay, but if you asked me to cite a source, I'd be like,
it would take a whole extra day.
I was like, I can't do it.
Assignment.
I have no sources. I'm just putting information down.
Oh, you didn't have sources?
I mean, I did, but I couldn't find them again.
Sometimes I would find a source and then try to find another source that was legitimate that said the same thing, you know?
Or I found the source and I was like, I'm going to copy word for word. And I was like, that's plagiarism.
Oh yeah, plagiarism was a big thing.
So I'm not really sure. I can I can show you my source, but it's just going to be my essay. So you know,
or you just right click synonym each word.
Oh, the amount of time I still right click synonym, at least once a day.
Yeah,
for sure,
for sure.
And any text I even send to you, I'm like, what's a synonym for great?
You spelled a word the other day that was really bad.
What? There's no what?
I'll remember. I'll post it.
Don't post it. No.
Oh, no. It was weaved, and it was
okay, but
WEEVED.
No, but I was trying to emphasize weaved. Like I was like throwing out multiple e's. Like I was knowing that
there was 2 e's.
I know, but I was, and then there's like a lot of e's at the end. So I was trying to tell you, I was trying to communicate via text that like, I know I'm misspelling this word.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to put this out here and you'll get my gist. You'll get what I'm trying to say.
I got it.
Yeah.
Listen, I want to talk this episode about what it's like being a mom lately because you don't ever talk about it. And like, even when we put it on the topic list, you'll talk about like the White House and mattresses instead.
That's an important topic that people need to know about as well.
But before we segue into that, I finally got my period. What
do you mean you finally got your period?
Well, I mean,
whoa,
why is that such a weird thing to say? Why am I getting all these hands up from?
Well, typically you get it monthly, so it's never like a finally. It's like, oh, here it comes again. It's arrived, as it always does at the time of the month.
Not when you're on the pill.
Even when you're on the pill though, Lena, are you out here fucking skipping your period?
I've told you this.
But still, what's the purpose?
Because I have such a heavy flow. I can't deal with it once a month.
I don't know. I just don't know about you. I am going to have to call somebody, get them in here.
Well, why don't you come over next time I have a heavy flow? And why don't you pull out my tampon for me?
Wait, that's the hard part, is pulling out your tampy?
No, it's not that.
Losing too much blood?
No, I'm
Use
just
it
saying,
as an opportunity.
Get a visual.
Oh, okay. Visualizing. Okay. Use it as an opportunity to have Noelle wait on you hand and foot.
Well, he couldn't deal with the blood.
Well, are you like walking around the home?
It was literally like flying out all over the wall.
Flying out all over the wall. That
how it
sounds like a murder.
Okay, well, let me backtrack.
Okay. Your period blood is here. It's arrived, and
I knew it was coming, but it came like 1 or 2 days later than it should have, even on the pill. And I've been dealing with like major bloat and uncomfortableness down there, which is totally,
Classic.
normal.
Yeah.
But it came, and for some reason, it was 3 times heavier than it normally is.
When's the last time you had it?
A month ago.
I thought you said...
No, I've been, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, it just depends on the way the wind is going, okay? But, so, it came.
It happened.
And it was so heavy.
Gushy.
Sure.
How many times a day are you changing your tan?
Like,
how many, like every hour?
Every 3 hours.
Okay.
Anyway, it was so painful. It was like one of the most painful dots I've ever had. Okay.
Forgot about dot.
But
it's anything but a dot.
I know. But yeah, it was just so bad. It was so bad. And the only thing I could think of while it was so bad.
Yeah.
Ready?
No.
The only thing I could think of was, I feel just like a fucking lava lamp right now.
Yeah. I know.
You know?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I posted it to my story, and the feedback was overwhelming.
Everyone feels like a lava lamp.
Everyone was like, "Oh my god, this is a great analogy for what it feels like." So are you the
lamp, and the lava is the period blood?
Yeah. The way. Okay, this is gonna get graphic, but the way in which
the blood flows,
the blood kind of.
Does lava lamps make noises?
They don't, but like if they did, and you heard them and your ears were to them, you would hear little sounds.
Okay.
The way it kind of like blobs around, that's what a period's like. It's just like blobbing around.
Yeah.
You're blobbing here, you're blobbing there.
Yeah.
You're dripping there, you're forming new clots here.
Oh, yeah.
You're building up here, you're dropping down here.
Oh my God.
That's what a period is.
It is.
It's a freaking lava lamp.
Yeah. It's true. Listen, I haven't had my period in over a year, so I really can't relate.
When you do.
When I get it back. When I get it back, I heard the first one's like real bad.
Oh, yeah.
So I can't wait to call you up. I'm going to be like, I have 2 supers in there. I mean, I can't be stopped. I'm being dragged across the floor. So get ready.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to picture myself as a lava lamp. I think it'll help me get through it. It's kind of a nice picture.
It's like,
lava lamps are like,
do you know what I mean?
Kind of relaxing.
Like if you didn't have a period, I know you don't have a period, but like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I want to know if someone who doesn't get periods knows what I mean. It's like that
blood moving through water.
Yeah. And they're all like kind of like big globs, you know?
Yeah, I've seen a lava lamp before.
But like,
whatever happened to lava lamps?
I could imagine them.
I know, right?
I had one, but I could imagine that happening in your uterus.
Who knows?
It's actually like the outside, you know?
Oh.
Your uteri.
No, like your vagina.
Wait, what do you mean? What's your vagina?
The vagina is...
I thought your vagina was like the down part of it.
Yeah, that's where the blood
that's where... Yeah, but it starts in your uterus.
Yeah, for sure. It feels like that in there, but it's also a lava lamp.
You know what I want to know?
In the toilet.
Also, men do have periods, by the way.
What?
It's a lava lamp in the toilet, too.
Okay, it is a lava lamp in the toilet. You're right.
For sure.
Clump, 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 clump. Swishy, 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 swishy.
Yeah.
Totally.
You get what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get what you mean.
Okay.
I could picture that.
Okay. I'm sorry if this is graphic, but like, what did you expect?
Yeah, it's your
like,
period.
this is our 71st episode. Like,
Yeah.
you think that this is new here?
Well, no. But also, like, lava lamp, that's not graphic at all, but people get it.
Yeah. If you can have a lava lamp in your room and think it's, you know, cool and relaxing and beautiful, like, don't be grossed out when I relate it to a period.
No, of course not. It's calming, if anything.
Yeah.
Because like now people can look at it and be like, that's what girls experience.
Yeah.
Just calm blood slooping through their vagina.
It does move slowly, just the way a lava lamp does.
Does it? I
It's
feel like it really expels from your body at a fast pace.
No, that's pee.
Oh. And then the blood just...
The blood is slow.
Wow.
I like that sound. Can you do it again? Yeah.
Wow, I'm honestly like feel really calm even with that sound.
Yeah.
I feel
so
overwhelmingly at peace.
I can't wait for your lava lamp period to come.
You know, I do think like it's nice to have this break. You know, like, don't you feel like I deserve it?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
imagine
I know.
having someone suck on your teats and
Bleeding at the
also
same
bleeding.
time. Well, I wonder what the
liquid.
science is of this. Because obviously I don't know the science
of the human body.
or any science.
Okay.
But specifically the science of like why your period doesn't come while you breastfeed.
Hormones.
Well, of course. But what if you go deeper than the surface hormone? Like I can say like, oh, you could say like, oh, your period and like what's the science? Like hormones.
No, but your hormones cause you to release and shed lining in your uterus that
So-
makes you bleed. But right now,
I have
those
so many
hormones
though.
are in a different place because they're trying to pump milk to your boobies and make you be a mom.
So hormones travel from my hoo-hee to my TTs?
The hormones are, within your body.
Is this
elsewhere.
scientific?
Yeah. Mariam can tell us to confirm, but it's hormones.
Okay. Well, now I'm just going to say the word hormones for any
Yeah, but you
scientific
kind of have to
behavior.
understand it.
Well, no, I can just say hormones.
Well,
Hormones.
for sure. Speaking of hormones,
The hormone prolactin is the hormone that causes you to make milk and also stops you from ovulating and having your period.
but why?
Because
Okay, because your body releases prolactin, right?
And that's what makes milk.
And that's what makes milk. So once it's releasing that. So I think the key word here is releasing. You need to
I
add
think the key word is hormones.
and prolactin. I think there's a lot of keywords. But I think the gist of it is that we get it.
You get it?
Yeah. So I know I'm like supposed to be like the star and run the show today with like motherhood,
Yeah.
but it's like pretty daunting,
Running,
like keeping us
being
on
mom.
track and like saying things that are on our list. So like I'm twirling this
well,
around.
I was just about to go. And
You-
what is timelines
Listen.
all about?
I get so nervous discussing things.
Yeah.
About things. I can talk
sure.
mattresses. I can talk poo, but when you talk babies,
Yeah.
you get nervous because I feel like everything I say, I'm judging myself. Does that make sense? Like I can see what other people might say about what I'm saying.
I get that. What is the deal with like the parental criticism? It's such a harsh
It's a
world.
harsh world out there. And
Everyone does things differently. Just be okay with that.
I know. And I think I get more cautious saying things because I don't want, number one, I'm talking about some other person that in my mind right now is like not an individual. Like she's like an extra limb of mine. Like she doesn't exist yet in my mind as her own person, but she is.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I'm discussing myself, but I'm actually discussing her.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I'm picturing her at 30, like sitting down and like watching this and like, oh my God, I'm probably going to cry this whole time.
Oh my God.
I know. Don't look at me. Look away when I talk. I want you to look at Alex the entire time and I'll just look at you.
Do you want me to pull out those sunglasses?
Yeah, like, pull out some sunglasses. I think we should both be wearing sunglasses this entire episode. I just think
Okay.
like it could be the best.
So she's gonna watch this someday later, and
Yeah.
you think
I
I don't
just
want to
wanna-
say anything that's embarrassing because like she would laugh her ass off
That's
at everything
true.
that you're saying.
I
Like,
just
oh
want to
my
speak
God.
about her properly or like in a way that doesn't like that she's not like, oh, I can't believe my mom did this and now 30 years later we figure out she killed me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but like talking about talking about how motherhood has
I guess I want to
changed
say,
you, what observations you've made.
Yeah.
Like none of that impacts how you've raised her, or
I
like,
guess.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you think of it as a much more, like, you don't have to come on here and say like, this is what I fed her yesterday,
That's
and this is
true.
when I put her to bed, and this is how many naps a day
And
she's
people
getting.
are like, that's not the right time for bedtime.
Yes, exactly.
You're right. Well, okay. So, and
I just want to know one thing.
oh no. Yeah.
Has it been easy or harder than you expected?
So much harder. So much harder. But every time I'm like, this is so much harder than I expected, I keep thinking like, have I ever heard anyone at any point in time being like, parenting's so easy. Like, it is so easy being a mom. I'm like literally living like the easiest life. Like, it's like the same thing as pregnancy, right? It's like I had this idea for myself that it was going to be easy, and it was not. And I don't think I thought parenthood would be easy, but I think I was so distracted by what I thought was a difficult pregnancy that I didn't necessarily think what newborn life would be like, or infant, or small child. And I was saying this with my friends, like, I pictured myself as a mom always, but I pictured myself as someone with like a child of 5, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I did not
like a 5-year-old,
a 5-year-old.
or 5 kids.
No. Like a 5-year-old, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't see the years of 0 to 5. Like when I would walk around with my dog and I'm like seeing kids out and playing, like, I didn't realize like those kids are infants, like those kids are newborns. Like, and something else that I kind of dawned on me the other day too was like, I never spent any time with children ever. Like, and I think that's such a different thing that maybe moms experience of our generation, that maybe my parents,
or aunt. Like, I've been an aunt first, so I've gotten to
totally. And your sisters are so much older than you. Like, I never was around, and I've never held a newborn until I had a newborn. I never held a baby. Like, I've never been around.
I had
a new
tons of
mom.
cousins. I was holding babies at 10.
Yeah, I never saw that. Never held a baby. I always tell the story, like, my friend was at my baby shower and she's like, do you want to hold my baby? And I'm like, nah, I'll wait till I get mine. You know, that baby looks kind of small. Like, I don't want to hurt it. And I was always like, the baby's neck, like, how do you support the neck? Like, do I hold the back? Like, I'm very, you know, like, I never had that kind of like physicality with like babies, or like what they do during the entire day. Like, it just was like a blank spot in my mind. But anyways.
Do you think that it's gotten easier from month 1 to month 6 now?
Yes and no. It's like, it's just gotten different. Like, when I first obviously had her, baby sleeps so much, but in my mind, when I look back, it doesn't seem easier because I was so physically messed up. Like, I couldn't stand without help for a very long time. Like, I had to change my diaper as much as I changed hers. And I kept thinking like, oh, as soon as I get out of this diaper, like, it's going to be easier. Like, as soon as I can walk on my own, like, it's going to be easier. And I had that kind of like conversation with myself now over and over again, to like, I finally come to the realization of like at first I said, I'm getting out of my diaper, it'll be easier. Like, once I can walk downstairs, it'll be easier. Once she sleeps, 3 hours at a time, it'll be easier. Like, once she likes her car seat, it's going to be easier. Like, once she likes a stroller, it'll be easier. And like, I had always this story in my mind of like, it'll just be one thing that I just need, and then I'll be able to like handle this, or then I'll be able to like fly through a day. And it's like, I'm going to come up with every single thing every single month of like, if she just did this, I would be like, oh, amazing. And like, it would be the best day. And it's like, there's never going to be a point where it's going to be like, this person does everything that you want, even an adult to do. Like, I always think like when she's having a bad day, or like a bad morning, or like a crankiness, it's like, would I expect not a normal person and an adult person to like be upset throughout the day, like to like always have a perfect day? And I think too, it's like, you're so connected that
it's
like,
hard looking at her like she's a person.
I know. And like, she's it's almost like, it's like this, I feel like I need to start at the beginning, because it's so hard to just talk about. Like, so it's so hard to like,
women fall in love.
Yeah, when they do it and they have a baby. No, it's like, it's okay. So for me, like, the physicality of being a mom, right? Like, going through pregnancy and like going through labor and like, carrying around this person is like so physically demanding, right? Like, on your body. But all of those feelings of like the physicality of it, it's like, I've trained and lived my whole life in like such a physical way that like I can mentally overcome pain. Like, because I've always done that over and over and over and over again, to where it's just like so easy for me to like be like, I can hold her for like another hour. Like I can hurt my body so much longer than this. But emotionally, like I've spent my entire life moving past sadness, like getting over anger, like not paying attention to being hurt, like all of those things I can bury or move on, or like I'm choosing to be happy. And so like now becoming a mom, you can't do that because your emotions are so tied to your child. And so if she's hurt or she's unhappy, it's like now I have to process those emotions. Like I have to process her emotions for her. And it's so emotionally uncomfortable for me because I can move through it with myself and I can't fix it for her. So it's just like so emotionally draining to not be able to like fix it and to be like, she's a baby, like she's gonna cry, like she's gonna be hurt, like her teeth are gonna grow in, like her body is growing quickly, like all of these things physically hurt, and I can't like tell her to stop hurting and like be happy. So I just have to like sit in this like sadness or frustration or anger and like process it. And like I don't know how to do that as a 34-year-old person. Like I don't know how to process emotions that way. And so it's just such an interesting thing of just being like, now I can't do what I always did. Like now I have to like confront emotions.
I think that's very deep because it's almost like she's helping you realize that you can also let out your emotions and your feelings. I think so because like you're watching this person cry and be sad or be flustered or be these things, and she just has to go through it. Like obviously she doesn't understand words yet. So the other thing, so you'll do that, and it's also like she does that and she gets through it and then she's fine and she's happy. And so I think it's a good reminder that you can let out your feelings and emotions, and it doesn't make you any less of a person or any less strong or any less cool or any less things. It's like your own baby's doing it and they're fine.
I know. And
the other thing is that I will like, because I've seen this with my nieces and nephew, like with my sister and even Noel when he's around my nephew, like when he has feelings, like they're so good about talking to him about letting out his feelings, and like his feelings are only going to get more real once he starts talking. But like my nephew Eddie will, get flustered with something and he'll just like walk to the front of the door and be like, I'm leaving because I'm upset. And like he has like a lot of emotions, and like Noelle or my sister, like whoever's around, like they're really good at going to him and being like, hey, what are you feeling right now? Why don't, and he's like, oh, I'm sad because you guys wouldn't let me do this or something. And it's like, okay, well, if you're angry next time, you can express it and you can talk about it. You don't have to leave. Yeah. But it's like, think about adults and how adults would just walk out and leave. Yeah. Like you're in a fight with your partner.
Yeah.
You're going to walk out. Yeah. You're going to leave and you're going to ignore it. So I think it's really interesting that you only have to get better about it as she's going to get older. Like you're going to have to coach her through how to express her feelings. And I think it's good for you to realize like you can do the same because you're going to need to, so you know how to tell her to, like if she's frustrated with something, she has to know how to express that she's frustrated, and you're going to teach her how to say that she's frustrated or how to say that she's sad. And it's like, if you're telling your daughter to do that, you have to do that too.
I know. It's just so interesting that like I would have said before I had like a child, I would be like, I felt like a full person, right? Or I felt like I had gotten to a point of not like fixing all my problems, but being like super aware of like issues I had and like having dealt with them. Like I would have said like I've dealt with problems, and it's so like apparent once you have a kid, like all the things that you're uncomfortable with, or like it's they just kind of like show you, like bitch slap you across the face with like things that you're still dealing with, like as a person. And like, I would so easily just distract myself with all different things, like from a kid to like being adults, like just different ways to distract, to not feel that certain thing. And so like all my frustration now from becoming a parent is like, I'm frustrated that I'm frustrated, like not even like being like mad at her, like not even being like frustrated with her crying. It's like, I'm frustrated that I'm frustrated with her crying. It's like a weird like step back from it, because I'm like, babies cry, like they get upset, like that experience is like going to be consistent with every person. But like, I'm always like, why isn't I want my patience to grow, and it grows so slowly. And then I'm like, I want it to be here. Or like in general in my life, like with physical activity or with like doing something, I've always been able to just like quickly grasp something. It's like, okay, we're doing this thing, like I'm going to do it well. Like it was never like, oh, I kind of suck at this, or like I'm not good at doing this activity.
That's the worst feeling.
And so
it's like when you start a new job and you don't know what you're doing for the first month.
Exactly. So like I didn't have the wherewithal to be like, I'm not going to be perfect right away, or ever. Yeah. And that kind of like frustration with myself of like, why aren't you the perfect parent? Like, why aren't you able to like constantly do exactly what she needs at that time, was still like every single day of like, it's okay to have somebody be able to calm her when you can't. Like, it's okay to have somebody put her to sleep when you can't, like and not like turn it around and be like, you're such a shit parent, like immediately. Like, whereas like I never ever had negative self-talk ever. Like it was never like, I'm sure like when you're 16, you're like, I fucking hate my body. Like who doesn't feel that way?
Yeah.
But I mean, like it never brought me down in such a way. And like, this is the only experience in my life where I've been like, something negative happens and I'm like, you piece of shit. Like you could not like carry her for 10 more minutes. Like you couldn't do it for a tiny bit longer. Like you couldn't be the one to like get her to go to sleep. It's like immediate like self-loathing of like, you need to already know how to do this. Something that you've never done, you need to already be the best at it. Like,
but isn't it interesting? Like when Wei starts to learn how to play with something, if she can't get it right, like she's going to do that same thing to herself because it's just natural. And you're going to be like, what are you doing? You don't have to be upset with yourself for not knowing how to play this game. It's perfectly normal. You'll learn, you'll get better at it. So you need to tell yourself your own advice.
I know.
That you give someone else.
I know. And it's it's like, I've never had to like practice those things of like, okay, we'll change the way you think about this. Or like, or even like if my mom can do something, I'm like, how is she so good at that? It's like, oh, well, she's been a mom for 34 years. Like she knows about that. Like she knows how to do that. Like she knows what like certain things that I wouldn't. And it's just like, it's just thoughts that like, you think everything through of like, I know what it's going to be like, or like even like stuff with Corbin and I, like, oh, how we're going to be parents, like how we're going to parent together, like all of those things. And then like you're here and like all of these different situations arise that you're just like, I never even thought this was like possible, or I never even like could have imagined this, or this. And it's like, even with like parenting in general, I always imagined like it's going to be 50-50. Like we're just going to both be parenting like 50-50. We're both putting everything into it. And it's like, that's not the case at all, because Corbin's working and like we need him to have a job to go to work. And like, that's him parenting. But like, I never even considered in my mind, which is going to sound insane, that like I would be doing the most work. Like I just didn't see it like that, because I was like, of course, like we have that type of relationship to where it's like going to be both of us. Like we're always doing work together, like in our relationship, in the house. But it's like, as a parent, like you're the primary parent because you're primarily with her at all times. And it's like,
if everything else in your relationship is 50-50, it's just understandable to think, why wouldn't this also be 50-50? But yeah, I mean, there's the whole concept of just like feeding in itself, which makes her attached to you. But then, you know, I will say, and I don't know, because I have no experience in this department, but it's got to be a little bit more 50-50 when they're 5, you know, maybe. So
of course, I think about that all the time. Like this is the experience of this time in this place. And it's like, I just like, what did I think? Like, both of us have all this money in the bank and neither of us are ever going to go to work, and we're just going to like dote on this child for the rest of her life and just both parent, both at the right times with the exact amount of energy. And it's just like,
you probably saw your parents that way. And that's probably not
I
how it was.
totally did see my parents that way, even though my dad had a job where he was gone, but in my mind, I did always think it was 50-50. And of course, this has changed my perception of my mom. Like 100, I was going to say, what's that happen? 350? I don't know. 150 degrees? I don't know. It's like changed and it's like the right angle. And it's like, yeah, I totally see my mom differently,
Yeah.
And I see my dad differently too. But it's just like, because you're a mom, you're like, holy shit, you think that you are appreciative before.
Oh, yeah.
And how many times can I say, And then you're just like, holy shit balls. Like, this is what you did for me. And I remember like growing up, my mom would always say like, oh, I love you more. And I'd be like, no, I love you more. And it's like, no, I can confirm parents love their children more. Like, there's no doubt.
Mom.
But like, no, mom. Like, you don't get it. Like, I love you more. And it's like the amount of, you'll never have to change your parents' diaper, hopefully. Like the amount of work that, I don't even want to say work, but just like dedication that you have to this person. It's like, it's so unmatched, but you can't even comprehend, because it's just like, you're almost like, it's like you're like, you can't believe this is just like a version of you and your husband. Like it's kind of crazy when you look at the child.
Yeah, you didn't expect it to be that way. I think that's good too, because just the same way that when you were pregnant, you were very honest about how it sucked and how it wasn't this beautiful, amazing thing where you're just like glowing and living in bliss. Like, and I think the same thing is true for parenting. Like, it's not, a lot of people will say, and I think it's true, is like, being a parent with someone makes you closer and like it brings you like a bigger bond than you ever had before. And there's just like a deeper level of love because you obviously love this baby more than anything. But there's also another side of it where your relationship for a period of time is just completely different.
Yeah.
And
I feel like I've been mourning that all like constantly.
Yeah.
Because it's like, now he's not only, like I said before, we lived in like a 500 square foot apartment, me and him. I could stare at him all day for like 3 years straight. And so like, this is the first time that he's had to actually like go into work. And I'm like, pay attention to me. Yeah. And like, so it's like, we have a baby, which I now want to be with you. Now I want to Velcro myself to you like 1,000 times more. And this is the most we've ever been away from each other. Like, that's crazy.
And yeah, I think it's good to be, what I was trying to say is just, it's good to be honest about that, because my sister will tell me too all the time, like, oh, it's totally different. Our relationship is totally different. And I just think it's good to sometimes not sugarcoat things, because then you know what to expect when you go into it. You're like, okay, things are going to be a little bit different for a period, but like, hopefully once we figure things out, it will kind of go back to normal, I think.
I'll let you guys know.
Again, I don't know. I'm just speaking from what I've seen, but I also think that not to make it about,
make it about
the guy, but
no, let's make it about him.
It must be hard too to not
miss like they change so much. Like, you feel like you're probably missing out on so much
things, but also like to not really feel needed.
I know.
There is a level where the baby doesn't really need the dad, because you feed the baby. Right.
I keep the baby alive.
Yeah. So like there is a level of like, what can I do? Like what
how can I help?
Yes, how can I help? And it's like that baby has so much attachment to the mom at first that there's got to be a level of like, what am I doing here?
Yeah, I know. I always like, and I'm always asking like, so how's your day? Like, how's your day as a father? You know what I mean? Like, because it's like his experience is so different than mine. And I always say like, I had 10 months to kind of I was a mother while pregnant in a way. Like you have like you're physically changing, you know, and then you have to go through labor. It's like you become a mom like so much over such a long period of time. Whereas like one day he was childless and then like the next day like he had a child. So like that shock of it too. And it's like, I think the expectation is like, oh, you're supposed to see this child and then like your world's supposed to melt away and like you're supposed to just like die on the altar of like this is like heaven, you know? And like you like as much as I loved my baby on the first day, like I love her way more now.
Yeah.
So it's like, and that must be even way more drastic for a dad because like they don't carry it and they like just see it and they're like, holy shit, that's my baby. Like they have to just like know instinctually that that's their child. Whereas like,
you know, because it was
inside of me,
and,
you know,
like, living off of you.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
Must be weird. But I think you, I think it's good to talk about like how different the relationship is.
Yeah.
But I think that's also really normal. I think that's a very normal thing.
It just changes so much. And the other thing that has been like keeping me up at night and like literally I'm laying in bed like silently weeping. I know, it's so sad. I just like have these like the timelines of the people that we're closest to in our lives. We only experience like half a life with them. Like I only know my parents from like 33 till like the end. And like she's only going to know me from like now till the end. And like there's going to be a time like where she lives and I don't. And I'm just like, oh.
I know. Well, it's because the love that you have for a child is just so strong. And
I know. I'm like depressed thinking about it. Like this is me laying in bed. I'm like, she's going to live and I'm not going to be here. Like what's she going to do?
I know. She's going to be fine.
How dare she? I hope she's going to lay at my gravesite every day and be like, Mom, I can't live without you. And I'm going to be like, okay. Like I'm a ghost. I'll come back. Like no worries. Oh, but it's just like those people in our lives, like we only know them for such a, like I'm always think like, what if we were like kids together? Like what if I got to like exist with her like through her whole life? Like,
wow.
and that's like the only, like, that's like such a big reason of like why I would want to have like a sibling for her. Like, not with the hardness. Like, I think I can't even imagine. I'm like, holy shit. But like your siblings, it's like, those are the people that like you live your entire life with. Yeah. And like to not have the opportunity to like grow up with somebody that's like your family like that is like,
it's really sad.
It's so sad. Like I'm obsessed with my sister and like that like gives me like the hope to like want to have another child. At the same time, I'm like,
oh man,
holy shit. Like it just like, it takes your soul from you in like such a positive way, but like almost like there's nothing left for me right now.
Yeah.
Which is like not the way that it's always going to be. It's just the way it feels right now. And so much of that is like every day is different. Every week is different. Like there is no consistency. And I'm such a person that like loves consistency. Yeah. Like I love a
you
fucking
go to bed
plan.
At 8 p.m.
Yeah.
You have your game night.
Exactly.
You have certain meals on certain days.
I know.
All that's gone.
So like,
but
that's
also,
the hard part. That's the hard
cool.
part. I know. Like that's why like I feel like when you're just curious about what each day is going to bring, it's like you have no idea what the fuck's going to happen. Like it's consistency, but it's also like shit's about to hit the fan. Like you just never know. And like you're just living life on the edge. But God, I literally have what I was gonna say. I think that's the hardest part of being like a mom is like every single instinct that you have as a person, like you have to put to the side of like, well, I'm tired now. Like I'm hungry now. Like I'm sleepy now. Like I need to like soothe myself now. Like I need to shower now. And like all of those like I need to do's like are never on your time or like when you want. And you just don't like to do that over and over and over again and every single day. It's just like, that's how it's so different from like a child to love a parent to a child, because it's like, I'm not willing to give up, but like I'm constantly wanting to put somebody before myself. And you just don't really know what that's like until
it's way different than in a relationship.
Right. Exactly. Because that's how I would say I was in a relationship. Like I will always put probably to a fault, I would do that for Corbin, you know, but it's so different because you actually have to do it. Like I could like physically say to Corbin, like, I'm going to make sure this person's happy by the end of the day. And like, I'm going to make steps to make sure of that. But still, it's probably on him, you know, obviously. But with a kid, you're just, you know, like you would do anything. You'd bend over backwards. And like, but at the end, you're so depleted. And like, you're trying to get like tidbits of like, you know, 30 minutes I could do this for me, or like 20 minutes I read a book. And that's why I'm like always eating and drinking coffee and reading in the shower, is because I'm like, this is fucking me time, baby. This is when I can do everything for myself.
How long are your showers?
I'm not wasting water. Don't doxing me. You know, like 15 minutes.
Oh, that's fine. I was assuming it would be short because you wouldn't have that much time and you were really cramming it in.
I do cram it in. But like, I also like, speaking of this, it's like I live with my mom. So she gives me like the freedom to like take a shower.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I get to like do a yoga. Like there's all of these instances that like it would be, I don't even like to say like harder or work. It's like it would just take more from me to not have an extra set of hands, to be like, I'm so tired. Like, can you hold her for a little bit? Like, I'd love to run to the grocery store right now. Like, can you hold her or like, can you stay with her while she naps? You know, it's like tiny little bits of like nuggets of free time that like even being here, it's like I get to be myself. Like I get to like listen to music and sing all like the entire way up, you know?
Well, that's the thing too, is that I think is good to remind, and I try to remind you, even though again, I don't know.
No,
what
you
it's
give
like.
good reminders.
But it's like you need time to be yourself again too, because if you're just entirely living for someone else, you'll lose who you are.
I know.
And then like you won't be, you know, your best happy self.
I know.
And yeah, even moms need little breaks and need time away just to be who they were again.
I know. Jesus Christ.
I know. Well,
should we talk about TikToks?
Well,
yeah, let's talk about TikTok.
if you're gonna have a number 2, no, at least
I
time.
thought you were talking about a poo.
Oh no!
I was like, I don't have the number 2 right now, Lena. Don't fucking tell everyone.
well, so you do have to number 2.
No, I don't have the number 2 at all.
But if you're gonna number 2, let me know for when I number 1.
Okay, so we'll number 1, number 2 at the same time.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because
Well,
I thought you were done.
I think I could be done, but like, there's always like a little bit.
Like I want to have only one because I barely even want to have one.
Yeah. I feel you.
But you need a sibling.
I know.
So
then
what are you
fall
gonna
down
do?
this fucking trap of like, well, I had one, might as well give 2. I think the same thing, but I also like whisper to Corbin, I'm like, is this an only child? Like, is she?
I know, and only childs, they're sad.
They are sad.
They are sad.
Alex, he agrees.
Yeah, they're losers.
Oh, they're not losers. They can't.
They're freaks. No,
They're
I'm just kidding.
weird. They're socially weird.
Yeah, in some way,
They're more
I
mature.
am
No
a
offense
little
to
bit of
them.
an only child.
Oh,
because
yeah.
my sisters are 7 and 10 years
That's
older,
true.
so I really was alone.
True.
Yeah,
that
so I mean that's
Explains a
Yeah.
lot.
yeah, example number 1.
But like, it's not their fault for being an only child. But it's like, but also, if they're an only child, like they're gonna be loved so much more.
I know. Well, that's the thing. It's like what I heard this quote the other day, like parents with only like with one child, like have a bit of like their life back and then give 2. And then it's just shit. It's going to hit the fan.
Yeah,
But it's like, I loved having a sister. I don't know.
I know.
We'll see.
I know.
I have to get through like 2.5, 3 years of just like one child.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
so
we'll
when
see.
you do number 2,
You
you
do
let me
number
know
1.
about what number 1.
Could you imagine if we just like podcasted pregnant
I know.
together?
That'd be really pretty.
Are you barfing?
Like when
all
I
the
say, I mean,
time?
it'd be beautiful, not pretty, but you know what I mean? It'd be
Yeah.
a beautiful thing.
Oh, do you have a quick update before we go to the bonus?
Yeah.
I just want to let everyone know I have not been drinking carrot juice. So if I'm glowing,
You're not. And I was going to say you looked pretty dull today.
Damn it!
It's because I knew you weren't.
Could you tell when I walked in?
For sure. I was like, she's not drinking carrots. What about me?
Yeah, you're fucking glowing.
Am I?
Yeah.
No, but really am I?
No, maybe it's the light that's shining on your cheeks. But
Well,
you're
the same light is shining on you. So.
Oh, and I'm still doing. No, bitch, you're not glowing at all.
Okay.
No, you're really glowing, but you always have nice skin. I tell you that every day.
Okay, maybe in the bonus, I have new carrot juice.
And I could drink some?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll
drink
start
it.
today.
And then by the end,
I'll be glowing.
people are going to have to look away.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And I have a TikTok to show you
Okay.
in the bonus.
What's it? Okay.
It's
show
the
me
best
that.
TikTok.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
it's my favorite.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm excited.
Okay.
Okay.
See you guys in bonus, which you can find at www.patreon.com/AWSF pod. We do 30 extra minutes in the bonus, sometimes more. We'll see you there. Bye.